my friend. Welcome back to the Identity Glow Up podcast. It is me, your host, Paige Harper, and I am here to help you become your most epic, your most amazing, your most magnetic, your most badass next level identity ever. That's what we do here on this podcast. Welcome. If you are listening to the audio, this is your norm. Hello, hi. But also something totally random, I guess not random, but something that I just randomly decided to do is I decided to make the podcast be on YouTube too. So this is a goal of mine that I wanted to have, and I figure there's no better time than now because why would I start any later than right now? Like there's literally no better time to go after your dreams, to hit a goal, to do something uncomfortable, to do something scary, to do something you are like hesitant about than right now. It's never going to get easier than right now. You're never going to be younger than you are right now. You are never going to have more time than you do right now. Like time on this earth, time to plan, time to whatever, like right now. So I decided to go on YouTube. So, hey, if you're watching on YouTube, I'm so excited to bring the podcast to you. Hopefully, I guess we should say, because I've never done this before. We're going to see. So maybe it'll be on YouTube, maybe not. But if not, it will be next week because I'll make sure that I fix anything that I F up because it's very possible. But let's get right on into the episode. So today we are going to talk about something that I'm so freaking excited to talk about. And that is we're done being average. We are done being average bitches around here, which I feel like is so fitting with me going on YouTube right now with this podcast because we're no longer being average. We can't be. If you are listening to this podcast right now, it's because you want to uplevel your life. It's because you want to have more confidence. It's because you want to have this next level mindset. It's because you want to be a boss bitch. It's because you want to, shocker, glow up your identity. So a woman that wants to glow up her identity doesn't need to be average, can't be average, but yet that's what we all, for some reason, strive for. Not on purpose, but that's what our brain strives for. So I'm saying no more average. It's comeback season and you're in training. So here we go. And the training I know we talked about last week. If you have not listened to last week's podcast, definitely go back and listen to that because so freaking good. But I did a riff inside of my ISP group, which is the Identity Switch Protocol group that I have, which is my 6-month program to help you get past this identity that's holding you back and really transform into this next level identity through a protocol that I have used myself over and over and over again to become my next level self in every season of life. And so we have that, and I do daily riffs in there Monday through Friday, and No More Average was one of the daily riffs that I did last week or the week before, and they all loved it. So it's like, got to make it a podcast episode. Got to do that. So we are going to dive into that. But first, happy Tuesday. If you're listening to this when it drops, the day that it drops, a happy Tuesday. I record this on a Monday, as always, because Mondays are my day that I'm in full business owner, like boss bitch business owner mode. I am fully like in my business era because I'm actually a full-time pharmacist. So I work 40-hour weeks, plus I have 2 kids, plus a husband, all of the things. And so I use Monday as my day to go all in on my business. Now, granted, I work my business all the time. I work my business between 45 minutes to 2 hours, usually every other day besides Mondays. But Mondays, I am on the go from 8:30 in the morning until my kids get home at 4. No stopping, never stopping, always going, always moving. And that's the way that I like it. So that's what's going on right now. We are about to start the Pattern Purge, which is my brand new 10-day Telegram challenge, which I'm so excited about. So today, the day that I'm actually recording, is day 1. I have not dropped the first riff yet for that, but when you're listening to this, it is day 2, and also will not have dropped the second riff because I make this go out at 4:30 in the morning Eastern time. So, but by the time you're listening to this, we are on day 2, and the Pattern Purge is something that like I have been wanting to do a little like mini program like this for a while because the amount of patterns that women struggle with that hold them back to be like to stay small and be this identity that they no longer want to be is insane. And the thing is, first of all, there's still time to join. There's still time to join. This is about deciding that you are no longer going to stay in this same sabotage spiral because don't lie. Don't lie to me and don't lie to yourself. If you are not where you want to be right now, it's because you are in some kind of pattern, you are some kind of cycle, probably a self-sabotage cycle, a self-sabotage spiral that is keeping you stuck, that is keeping you small, that is keeping you in the same exact place that you have been for way too freaking long, right? This pattern purge 10-day Telegram challenge is about actually stepping into your next level. It's about breaking the patterns that are keeping you stuck at average. And like I said earlier, we're not about being average right now. We are about adding in patterns that actually make us our next level self, and our next level self is not average. We are about breaking the patterns that keep you inconsistent, that keep you overthinking, that keep you playing small, that keep you restarting over and over and over again. If that's you, if you're like, holy shit, I overthink a lot. I play small all the time. No big scary actions over here. No way. I constantly have to reset or restart every Monday, every week, every month, every year. You need to be in this. You need to be in this 10-day challenge, right? Because like I said, this is comeback season. This is comeback season. And in this 10-day challenge, like I'm not just hyping you up. This is not a hype up. Like, don't get me wrong. I love a little bit of motivation. I love a little bit of hype up. Like, I think that's so needed. However, that's not the only thing that we're doing here. We are retraining you in the pattern purge. We are making sure that you know what patterns are keeping you stuck. Hello, because these are all patterns that used to keep me stuck, right? So figure out what patterns are keeping you stuck, how to purge them, how to get rid of them, how to say peace out, sayonara, bye bitch, like how to get rid of them, and then how to add in patterns that are actually going to support the next level version of you. So you still have time to join. That's what's going on in my world right now is this pattern purge. It's like the main thing I'm focused on. I'm so freaking excited about it. So this pattern purge 10-day Telegram challenge, still have time to come in. Starts today, the day that I'm recording. It'll be day 2 by the time you listen to this. If you listen to it the day that this launches, you can still join. You can come all in and come on in. And if you have any question about whether or not you can join, just reach out to me via DM on Instagram. And I have all of that information in the show notes and I will let you know. And you can come right on in. There's also going to be a link in the show notes for the pattern purge. Oh, it's only $33 too. So it's like a freaking no-brainer if you're someone that's struggling with staying in these sabotage spiral patterns. But okay, so enough about that. Before we get started today officially, please go ahead, if you haven't already, and take a minute to subscribe and leave a 5-star rating and review. It helps the podcast. And now, I guess, YouTube reach so many other amazing women just like you. Just like you, and I want to see this community grow. Not even for my benefit, but because I know how much this work has helped me. I know how much this work has made me like this next level woman, how much it has really made me be more self-obsessed and more confident and more like loving myself and loving my business and feeling genuinely happy and excited every day. Like I'm that crazy ass person that wakes up at like on the days that I have to work my full-time job, like 4:20 in the morning, but on the days that I don't, I wake up at like 5:30. Like this morning I woke up around 5:30 and I get moving and work out and have this whole routine because I'm so in love with my life. I'm so in love with my business and I owe all of that to identity work. And that's what we do in my programs. That's what we do here on YouTube. That's what we do here on the podcast if you're listening to audio. So I want to build a tribe of women that want the same thing, that want to up-level their life and are ready to take shit to the next level. So please subscribe, rate, review, all of the things, and invite women in to listen to, share it to your stories, all of the things, just because I want to grow this community to be massive. Also, make sure you're following me on Instagram. All of that information, like I said, is in the show notes. And there's also a podcast Facebook group. If you are new around here and you haven't heard, we have a podcast Facebook group. I post in there multiple times a week, just going even more in depth with what we already talk about on the podcast. But also the special thing is I do a Facebook Live for my, like specifically and only for my Facebook group for the podcast every Thursday, usually. So that is another added little bonus. So enough of me jibber jabbering. I feel like I've done a lot of that this episode. Maybe it's like nervous energy from me doing the podcast on YouTube, but I'm really, really excited. So let's get right on into the episode. And today I want to talk about some topics that, like I said, I've talked about in my ISP, Identity Switch Protocol group recently that my girls found so freaking powerful. And that is these 3 things. 1, It's time to stop being average. 2, it's officially comeback season. And 3, we are in training. But what are you in training for? Again, this is something I talked about in the podcast last week. What are you training for? Because I know I'm training for my next level. And you can say you're training for your next level, but are you really? Are you really? Think about the actions that you're taking, the mindset that you have, the behaviors that you have, the patterns that you have. Like, are you really training for your next level? So, we're in training because it's comeback season, baby, and we're going to stop being average. And I've been feeling this energy so strongly lately where average is like no longer acceptable. It's no longer acceptable for me. It's no longer acceptable for my business. It's no longer acceptable for me as a mom. It's no longer acceptable for me as a wife. Like, I just don't think that I was put on this earth to be average. I don't think any of us were put on this earth to be average, but it's really, really easy to step into this, and I'll get into this later, but I'm kind of getting ahead of myself, but it's really easy to feel like you need to be average in order to fit in, right? And I think that that's something that we're all scared of standing out. Well, not maybe not we're all, but I feel like most of us, we're all scared of standing out. But like, we need to get to the point where average is no longer acceptable. If we want to grow, if we want to expand, if we want to truly live our soul's purpose, we need to get to the point where average is no longer acceptable. Coasting no longer feels comfortable. It actually feels like uncomfortable to just like coast and plateau. Like, that's where I'm at. I'm like, where's the next thing? Where's the next thing I can do? I need to do it. Like, launch this program. Cool. What am I doing next? Like, I constantly, and I actually just talked to my husband about this yesterday. Like, I like to do things all the time. Like, my coach says it best, where it's like, I'm a little psycho. I'm a little psycho when it comes to my goals and my dreams and the things that I do, and constantly being busy, but in like the best possible way. Like, I want to constantly be moving and growing because that's what I feel like my soul's purpose, my soul's mission, I was meant to do in this world. I'm not meant to just stay average. Like, how freaking boring. No one wants to stay average. I'm sorry if you do, but maybe you're listening to the wrong podcast if you do. But I feel like I said, I feel like I need to be doing more. And I don't feel like I need to be doing more out of this like lack, like, oh my gosh, I'm not doing enough. I'm not doing enough. I don't feel like I need to be doing more out of desperation. Like, oh, more people. I need to do more things and do more things. Like, it's not out of lack. It's not out of desperation, but out of listening to my innermost thoughts and feelings and feeling the urge. Like, I have like the urge, the passion, the excitement to do more. More content, pushing harder, more selling, more motivating, more passion, more grit, more visibility, more podcasts, now more YouTube videos, more next level me type shit. Like, that's what I want to be doing. And I'm at this point where I can literally feel the version of me that I'm meant to be pulling on me. I actually have a whole module in ISP about this, and Identity Switch Protocol. It's called, like, I call it tethering. I have this there's this part of me where I feel like I'm tethered to my new identity. And she's like, bitch, get in the car. We're going. Like, I'm pulling you along. You're either going to be like dragged along the road with me, like behind the car, or you can get in the car with me and be comfortable, like in this beautiful ass car. Like, you have the two choice. Like, I can feel this next level version of me that I'm meant to be pulling on me and being like, hey, we're not sabotaging ourselves anymore. We're not playing small anymore. We're not going out there and be like, I'm trying, but not actually doing anything anymore. Again, I had this conversation with my husband last night too, which is funny because I made these notes for the podcast days ago. But I had this conversation with my husband where I was like, I just feel like I always said that I was doing a lot, and I felt like I was doing a lot, and I felt like I was going all in on my business, but like, I don't think I actually was. I don't think I actually was. I think I was just like barely rising above average, but not in full like comeback season mode, if that makes sense. So if that's you, if you're feeling the same way, if you're feeling like, yep, she's speaking to me, let me know. Let me know if that's something. You can do it on Spotify comments. You can do it in my DMs. Let me know if you're vibing with this, if you are feeling the same way. Because here's the thing. You don't just magically, like, quote unquote, enter your next level one day. It doesn't just magically poof happen. Like, a lot of people think that's how like manifestation works, where it's just like you do the same shit every day and you're the same person every day and you don't do anything out of your comfort zone every day. But if you sit down and you meditate on it and you're like, okay, I'm going to be this next level person. I'm going to be this next level person. I'm going to have a shit ton of money. Then poof, one day it's going to happen. And that's not the way it works. Right? Like, you're not just going to like one day wake up confident. You're not just going to one day wake up disciplined. You're not just going to one day wake up successful. You have to train for it. Okay. And I've been really into, I know I kind of have shit on motivation in the past, but I'm finding a new love for motivation. And we can talk about that at a different time. But I've been listening to a lot of motivational videos on YouTube. One of which, the main YouTube video that I've been watching recently, or the YouTube channel, is, I think it's called Motiversity, maybe like university plus motivation mixed together in the same word. And it's a lot of, I think I talked about this in the last episode too, but it's a lot of videos and clips of people having very inspiring like speeches and things like that, like keynotes and all of that. And they also have a lot of people that are in sports. I'm not a sports gal. I don't know much about sports, okay? So don't make fun of me here. But I believe it was Tom Brady. And he had this story and he was having this speech about how he wasn't naturally the best. He didn't grow up being the best. He didn't grow up having this natural talent that some people have. He didn't grow up and just be able to, I almost said basketball, that's not his sport. Just be able to throw a football and be able to like be this like all-star. He had to work his ass off to become the best. He had to be in, and I see all the ones about oh my gosh, what's his name? It's not LeBron James. Kobe Bryant. I see all these videos about Kobe Bryant too, where he had to do the same thing. You know, he was like, I was the one that was in the gym earlier than everybody else. I was the one during my lunch break. Like I would eat lunch, then go back to the gym. Like I don't want to be around half-assed people. I want to be constantly working. I want other people to be working too, to be better. And that's the thing is there's a lot of like athletes that are they go all in on this dream that they have and they don't have this natural talent all the time going in. And it's not just the people that have the natural talent that are able to see the success in their life. It's not just the people that are naturally confident that can see success in their life. It's the people that actually work their ass off for it. It's the people that actually go all in for it. It's the people that actually say like, hey, this is truly my comeback season. And yeah, they may be better than me. They may be better at selling than me. They may be better at content than me. They may be better at naturally having that like, you know, the whatever that's called when you go on social media and you have like the it thing. Like you go on social media and you can automatically just be yourself. Like they may be better at that than me, but like I'm going to get better than them. Because those people that are the people that are naturally good at those kind of things, they don't always work on it. So guess what? If you work on it, you're going to get further past them. You're going to get better than them. You're going to continue to grow and grow and grow, and you're not going to plateau, but you have to choose that you're in training. You have to choose that it's your comeback season. You have to choose that you're no longer going to be average. That's something that you have to do, and only you can decide that, right? You can train for your comeback season. You can train for your next level. You can train to no longer be average through your habits, through your standards, through your thoughts, through your decisions, through your actions, through your patterns. Why do you think I'm having the pattern purge as my 10-day challenge? Like, it's so freaking important. It's so important. And that's how you train for it. You don't just wake up one day and be like, oh, I am amazing and I make a crap ton of money and look at my bank account and all these people follow me and all these people like my stuff and all these people are in my programs and blah, 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 blah. It doesn't work like that. You have to train for it. And yeah, some people get lucky, but what you don't see is a lot of the times people aren't just lucky. They're posting behind the scenes. They are showing up behind the scenes. They're doing all this work behind the scenes that you don't see until one day magically, poof, quote unquote, magically, they see the success that you want to see and be like, oh, that girl's just lucky. No, 9 times out of 10, they work their ass off and you just didn't even notice it. You didn't even notice it because you were too busy being average. You were too busy complaining about other people doing too much or you not having enough time, while the other people that still have the same amount of time that you do find a way to make time, find a way to make motivation, find a way to make themselves get up and go after their dreams, right? And like I said last week, whether you've been intentional about this or not, you've already been in training. You're already in training right now. But the question is, what have you been training for? What have you been training for? More excuses? More inconsistency? More starting over every Monday? What have you been training for? So yeah, this is my official comeback season. And I feel like I've already been in comeback season, but there's something about turning 35 here in a few months that just has like got me all like, I'm all ready to go. I'm like, okay, this is my moment. This is my moment. 35 is going to be incredible. I can't make it average. When I turned 30, it was like during COVID season. And like, I felt like I couldn't do anything, not even go out and party, but I couldn't do anything. I felt very like in a shell. I was just starting out my life coaching business and all of these things. And now I'm like, I'm 35 and I feel 25 and I feel like I can take on the world. Well, I'm almost 35. I feel like I can take on the world. Like I feel like I can go after and do this big shit. Like I am ready. So I have been all in on like my comeback season for a while now, but I feel like now's the time to tell the world and now's the time to really show that like you get to refuse to be average. You get to refuse to be average. And being average, like I said earlier in the podcast, like it's easy to have this when we are really young, stuttered there. When we are really young, we aren't average. We are ourselves. We are who we want to be. We are who we are excited to be. We are like crazy and out there and don't care if people see us for who we really are. But then as soon as we get to this point where kids start being mean and people start judging and people start saying things and it's easier to be average. It's easier to fit in. It's easier to be the same as everyone else because then no one gets to say anything. Then no one gets to make fun of you. Then no one gets to comment on the things that you're doing or the things that you're wearing or the things that you're saying or whatever. No one gets to comment on it and you kind of get to like hide. Like I was very shy when I was young. I was a cheerleader, but I was like I don't feel there may be people from my high school that are going to disagree, but I don't feel like I was the typical quote unquote like bitchy cheerleader. Like not that's I swear I don't think all cheerleaders are bitches. I love cheer. I've coached cheer recently, but you know, like the stereotype that you see on like online or on in movies, whatever. Like I was very shy. I was very scared to be myself. I was very nervous to do anything that would be different than everyone else. And it wasn't until I got older, probably in my 30s, honestly, maybe in my 20s, like my mid 20s, where I was like, I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. I'm going to be me. But we get to this point, like, especially in middle school and high school, where we feel like we need to be average. And then that carries on into our life, that carries on into our business. And we just want to fit in, especially if you're like a newbie at business, like, as my kid would say, a noob. I think that's right, the right word, right? But like you're a newbie at business and you are just starting out and you're just starting out on social media and all of the things, it can feel very intimidating. It can feel like I don't know what I'm doing and I don't want to stand out and say something bad or say something wrong or say something that people are going to judge or say something that like somebody may say something negative against because if I do that, oh my gosh, people are going to see me. People are going to see me and what are they going to say? And so we are okay with being average, even if it's like on a subconscious level where it's like we don't even realize we're doing it. We are. We are because it's easier to fit in. It's easier to be average than it is to stand out, especially when you're like online and on social media. And I know a lot of women that listen are business owners and so or are doing content creation or whatever. And so like when you're doing that, it's really easy to feel like you need to stay average because like subconsciously you need to be average because if you're average, then people aren't going to be able to call you out for the things that you say, right? But if you actually want to grow a business, if you actually want to live your next level life, you can't be average because you aren't put on this earth to be average. You have a mission, you have a soul's purpose, you have a desire, you have a passion to do something like in this world that other people won't be able to do. But you're not going to be able to do it either unless you decide that you are no longer allowing yourself to be average and that you are now in comeback season, right? So this needs to be your comeback season where you're refusing to be average anymore. No more average effort, no more average discipline, no more average standards, no more average self talk, bullshit talk, no more average content, no more average selling, no more average thoughts. Like the word average needs to be out of your freaking vocabulary. Average is where we stay when we want to be the same as everyone else. Why would you want to be the same as everyone else? Why wouldn't you want to be more like you? I know it was a protection mechanism when you were in middle school and high school and all of that, maybe even college, but we don't need to do that anymore. And if you are listening and you're in, I would doubt middle school, but like you're younger, you're in high school, you're in college, whatever, and you feel like you need to be average in order to not stand out, girl, I need you to stand out. I need you to be you. I need you to be in your comeback season where you're refusing to be average. You are refusing to be the same as everyone else because they don't have your dreams. They don't have your desires. You need to go out there and be the fullest version of you that you can possibly be. No more being average because we don't want to stay the same as everyone else. Average is where we stay if we don't want to stand out. Average is where we stay if we don't actually want to hit our big dreams. Average is where we stay when we don't think that we're capable. Average is where we stay when we're afraid of failing. Average is where we stay when we are trying to avoid judgment. But that's not where you should be, especially if you have big goals. If you're a business owner, you can't be average. There are a million life coaches. I swear, there's so many life coaches, mindset coaches. There's so many people in network marketing. There's so many people in your one specific company. There's so many people that do the same business that you do. Why would people want to hire you? You can't be average. You have to be in your comeback season. You have to be going out there and being passionate and being fully you and being excited, and even like through your content and everything like that. Like, you cannot be average if you want to take your life, if you want to take your business especially to the next level. Like, average is saying that you want more but you're not doing it, knowing what to do, and you know what to do. You say you don't, but you know you do. Knowing what to do but then not doing it. Average is starting strong, being excited, being passionate, being motivated, and then falling off midweek. Average is settling for good enough when you're actually meant for freaking exceptional. We don't need to be average anymore. And the reason that average is so freaking dangerous is because it's comfortable. It's comfortable. It doesn't force you to change. It doesn't challenge you. It doesn't require you to become someone new. We're in the point when you're an average that you're able to stay stuck in the same person, the same version of you that you always were. It keeps you at being average, keeps you exactly where you are. And so if you are comfortable being exactly where you are, then fine. But I know myself, and I know the women that really want to be like the women that are listening to this podcast, women that are listening, watching this YouTube video. Hey, the women that are going all in and have these big visions, they don't want to be average. Okay. Average is where you stay if you love your comfort zone a little bit too much, which I mean, we all do from time to time. But I need you to ask yourself, if you're done being average, that is, I need you to ask yourself, what sacrifices are you willing to make? Because the thing is that if you have always been average, if you've always been going after the average thing, and all of a sudden you're like, it's my comeback season, baby, no more average. That's amazing. And I'm going to cheer you on as long as you tell me that you're doing it. Hello, make sure you're in my DMs and you are commenting on Spotify and reviewing and all of the things. But what sacrifices are you willing to make? Because you are going to have to make sacrifices. If you are becoming someone different, if you are becoming someone next level, if you are getting rid of that average part of your life, you're going to have to make some sacrifices, my friend. Sacrifices to your comfort, sacrifices to your old identity, to your scrolling. That's been a big one for me. I did really well for a couple of weeks and I've kind of fallen off a little bit, not near as bad as I used to be, but I need to get back into that. But sacrifices to your scrolling, sacrifices to your negative sabotage spiral, sacrifices to your past self, to the friendships maybe that aren't serving you anymore, and sacrifices to what your normal is, which can be really freaking scary for people. The sacrifice can be the thing that a lot of people are like, people are held back by having to sacrifice who they've always been because that's scary. It's scary to basically get rid of a version of you that you've always been. Like, we're our own best friends, right? Is anybody else? No? Okay, maybe I'm the weirdo. But like, when you are up leveling, when you are no longer allowing yourself to be average, when you're in this comeback season, you have to sacrifice the old you. Because you can't allow the old you to continue to come back over and over again. You can't allow the average you to come back over and over again, because obviously that's the easiest route to go in your brain automatically when there's a hard time or there's, you're sick, your kid's sick, shit's hitting the fan, whatever. It's really easy to go back to who you've always been. It's really easy to go back to average. And so you have to sacrifice that old version of you. You have to sacrifice the old thoughts, the old identity. And that's hard. That's scary, right? Again, why we're going through this in the Pattern Purge, not another shameless plug, but another shameless plug. We're going through this in the Pattern Purge because you have to be able to sacrifice those patterns and the self-sabotage that you actually secretly like, even though you don't realize it, because it's keeping you not having to be like, play big, to go do big, scary things, right? And if it's comeback season, that means that something has ended. We're done. There's like a finality, I don't know if that's the right word, but you know what I mean. There's like this ending point, right? The old habits are done. The old excuses are done. The old identity, it's done. You don't get a comeback while you're still acting like your old self. That doesn't make sense, right? You can't come back if you're like having like have this like it's comeback season, baby. Like I'm going after my dreams, I'm going after my goals, I'm coming back to who I've always meant to be. We're not coming back to your old identity. That's not what I mean in comeback season. I hope you understand that through this whole podcast by this point. Goodness gracious. But like you don't get this like comeback season of like I'm going after my dreams. I'm coming back to who my higher power made me be and who I'm supposed to become and what my soul has was sent on this earth to do and my passions and all of that. Like it's coming back to that. I don't want you to come back to your average. We're not doing that. That's not what we're doing. So you don't get this like new and improved comeback era while still acting like your old self. You don't train at a high level if you have these low level behaviors. So the question becomes, who do you need to become to match the life that you say that you want? Who do you need to become to match the life that you say that you want? Because that version of you doesn't negotiate with herself. She doesn't wait to feel motivated. She doesn't just quote unquote try, which if you've listened to my podcast before or if you've done any program with me, you know I hate the word try. I actually like barf a little in my mouth every time that I say the word try. Not really, but you get what I'm saying. Like that version of you, she doesn't like this new next level comeback version of you. She doesn't just try, she decides. She decides and she makes it be. Like this is who I am. There's no question about it. And then she backs up that decision that she has with action, which is what so many people forget. It's easy to decide. It's easy to say, okay, I've decided I'm going to make a shit ton of money. I've decided I'm in my comeback season. I've decided I'm no longer going to be average. I've decided I'm going to post on social media this many times a week. But if you don't back it up with any kind of action, it doesn't mean shit. It doesn't mean anything, right? So if you want to start seeing your life like training for this comeback season, training for this comeback era, for this season where you are choosing to no longer stay average, then you need to think about it like your mornings, you're in training. I have like the best training, like morning routine right now. Oh, it's amazing. Chef's kiss. But your mornings, you're in training. Your habits, it's part of training. Your workout, yes, your movement, moving your body is part of training. Your mindset is in training. And in training, you don't always feel like it. I guarantee you, most of the time, you don't feel like it, especially in the beginning. You're like, why the hell am I doing this? Because you may not see results right away, but you don't always have like you can't have the choice. You can't be like, oh, should I, shouldn't I, like constantly negotiating with what you want, who you need to be and all of that. Like you're not always going to feel like it when you're in training. You don't always want to show up, but you do it the F anyway. You do it anyway because you know what you're building. You know that it's comeback season. You know that you're done being average. Right? So the next time you catch yourself being like, I don't feel like it today. Oh, I don't know. It's been a hard day. I'm tired. I'm stressed. I want you to interrupt it with, okay, cool. Good. Good. You're tired. Good. You're stressed. Good. You don't feel like it. Guess what? This is part of the training. Get up and do it anyway. The training where you upgrade from average to extraordinary, that's what we're doing right now. The training where you show the hell up no matter what, that's what we're doing right now. The training where you do the things that other people won't earlier than other people won't, or like during the times that you don't feel like it when other people won't, that's what we're doing right now. Okay. And one thing that I think, and we've touched on a few times, one thing I think that we all need to be training ourselves in more, especially when it comes to like if you're a business owner, what we need to be training ourselves to be less average, being in our comeback season, being in our training season, being in our no bullshit, let's show up fully as myself, let's be visible AF season. What we need to be training ourselves for is content. Because my friend, if you are a business owner and you're not posting content and you're not being visible and you're like, why is it not working for me? That's where you're being average. It's not working for you because you're not showing up because you're being average. It's not working for you because maybe you are showing up, but you're still being average. You're still being like the basic bitch, which there's nothing wrong with being a little basic bitch. I love me some like what do they say? Like the pumpkin spice stuff and all of that during fall. Like I'm a little basic bitch too, but we can't be basic bitches when we're online doing content just for like the show of being average, right? Just for the show of being average. You can't do that. We need to be training ourselves in our content. Because if you are an online business owner and you're not utilizing content and becoming visible, like super visible, what are you even doing? If you are truly training for your comeback season, a season where you are no longer going to be allowing yourself to be average, that has to be part of your everyday life, right? That's part of everyday life. But for us business owners out there, for like the business owner girlies, it has to be also part of our content. We also have to be making sure that we're no longer being average in our content. If you want to have a comeback season in your business, you want to take your business to the next level, it all has to do with your content. Yes, putting yourself out there. Yes, selling. But guess what? Again, that's all part of content. And average content girlies, from experience, hey, I was an average content girly for a very long time. They get average results. They get average results with no real like monetary results to show for it. And I'm sorry, but like I ain't wasting my time with a business that I'm not like showing up for fully. I'm way too busy for that shit. So like for me, it's like I don't have any other option but to no longer be average, but to no longer allow myself to like be average in my content, to be average in my business because then I'm not creating results. And if I'm not creating results, it's a freaking hobby. It's not a business. And I'm not here for that. And I don't think you are either, right? So the woman who is in their comeback era, especially for their business, this content, average content thing, it's gone. It's on. It's on. Well, it's gone, the averageness, but it's on for us to be in our comeback era. And I'm not just talking about being visible. That is part of it, right? But it's also about upgrading your content so it sells for you, which the average content girly could never, could never. And let's just like, while we're at it, with our content, let's just manifest, which also means action, remember. Let's just manifest our rich girl lifestyle through the content. Just while we're at it. Why not? Right? Why not? We all want to be a little bit rich girl, right? Like, what if May was your, I'm going to double down. I'm no longer going to be average. I'm going to have this comeback season month. We're officially in May now. We're in full training mode. We're in full money mode. We're in full manifestation mode. We're in full social media takeover mode, which is actually what I told my coach when I had a one-on-one with her the other week. Full social media takeover mode, right? And while we're at it, let's make 5-figure months my new normal mode. Who's up for that? Who's ready for that? You already have the desire and the passion to upgrade your identity. Otherwise, you wouldn't be listening to this podcast. Right? You already have the desire and the passion to no longer be average. Otherwise, you wouldn't be listening to this specific episode on the podcast, right? Or maybe you just love me and you're just listening to the podcast because of that, which thank you. But I'm going to guess most of you are listening to this because you're like, yes, I'm done being average. I'm so freaking over it, right? You already have the desire to be in your comeback season. Again, otherwise, you wouldn't be listening to this specific podcast. And my guess is you also have the ideas. You have the ideas that come to you in the shower while you're working out, while you're on your hot girl walk, while you're laying in bed at night, whatever. You have the ideas. Don't tell me. I know almost all business owners that like have this note app on their phone that's just typing out ideas. Are you doing anything with them? Right? You already have the ideas. You already have the magnetism. You already have the potential. Don't tell me you don't because you do. You already have the potential. You just need to learn how to sell. You need to learn how to sell, which so many people that I talk to are like, I don't want to be salesy. Bullshit. You need to learn how to sell. And you also need to learn how to use your content as this manifestation tool to make more money, right? Because the average girl, which we're no longer being average, but the average girl is in no way able to actually sell on a regular, consistent basis. But we've already decided you're not her anymore, right? You're not her anymore. And in comeback season, you're becoming the girl who can sell too. Because if you no longer want to be average, you have to grow your business, like in a business way, you need to grow your business. And to grow your business, you got to sell. So if you have been vibing with this podcast at all, this podcast episode, and you've been thinking like, yes, girl, this is me. This is me. I'm tired of being average. I want this to be my comeback season. I want to be in training. I want to upgrade my content. I want to be more visible. Like I don't want to be average anymore in my content. I want to make more money for my content, all of that. I'm ready for my comeback season. I'm ready to no longer be average. I'm ready to be this like rich boss bitch. Hey, that's me. I am ready to actually be good at content and how to learn to sell every single day. Like I want to create content that sells every day. I want to have my own content like aligned to my next level, like rich girl vision and lifestyle. I want to call in money through like strategy and energy and all of that. Then I have something perfect for you. And the best part is it's free. It's absolutely free. So my coach, which is the Mikayla Jai, if you know, you know. If not, you need to go listen to her podcast and all of the things. She is hosting a free 3-day live masterclass experience that starts on May 12th. So it's May 12th through May 14th. And I want you to join, I want to invite you to join with me because I am going to be joining for sure. She is like the content like guru. She is the one that has inspired me to go after my dreams, to go all in on my content, to be batshit crazy when it comes to my content, to do all of these things. And it has upgraded my content to the point where I'm calling in women that I don't even know that find me through my content to be able to like grow and get in my programs and all of that. I'm making sales, I'm doing all of that. And so I want to have you there alongside me in this free masterclass to help you with your content as well. I guess I need to tell you what it actually is. So let me tell you, I got a little excited there. So she's having a free masterclass called Rich Girl. How to manifest your rich girl lifestyle by posting the content that sells for you. I guess I should have told you that first before I went into the rant of everything that I just said. But like read or listen to that, rewind and listen to everything else I just said. Said it a little backwards, but we're going to keep moving. So the free 3-day masterclass, Rich Girl. How to manifest your rich girl lifestyle by posting content that sells for you. Freaking, she's a genius. Genius when it comes to content. Whenever I'm stuck, I'm like, help me. And she's like, yep, here you go. This is what I would do. This is what I would call it. This is the series that I would do. I'm like, holy shit. Like it's so good. I promise you. So again, this is completely free and it's being taught by a woman who gives all the rich girl vibes in her content, in her podcast, and in her real life. She has made multiple 6 figures in her business, basically, I think every year since she launched it, since she started working it. And she is the woman that has helped me become who I am today in my business. Okay. Every day during this free live masterclass, which is May 12th through the 14th, every day she is teaching you how she made social media her manifestation machine, is what she calls it, and how you'll master content this year in 2026 to manifest whatever it is on your rich girl vision board. Because if you're a business owner, I guarantee you have some kind of rich girl vision board type of vibe. So if you want to join me and a shit ton of other women in this masterclass, in this free masterclass, and truly make this your comeback season in real life and on social media and start making a shit ton of money, then you need to join this masterclass experience that she is putting on for you guys. It's called the Rich Girl Masterclass Experience. So the link for you to join is actually in the show notes here. That is my link for you to join. So the link to join is in the show notes. Once you join, share with me on Instagram so that way we can celebrate together. I can share it to my stories. We can talk about it. We can talk about what you're struggling with the most with social media, what you want to upgrade with social media, what your rich girl dreams are, what your rich girl manifestations are, how much money you want to make, all of that, like putting it out into the universe. Then we're going to go to the masterclass together. We are going to learn a shit ton, and then we are going to apply it. We are going to actually take the action to apply it, because that is what Mikayla is about. Is not just like the manifestation. It's actually like of the woo-woo type of thing, but it's actually applying it. So this is your ultimate comeback season vibes. No more being average, training your ass off mentally, physically, and emotionally, and becoming the ultimate rich bitch through your content, and prove all of those people wrong that thought you could never make money through content on social media. You can never make money on social media. You know you have people in your life that have said that. So this is the ultimate comeback season vibes. All of these things, no longer being average, being in training, and also being a rich bitch through your content and learning how to upgrade your content and no longer being average in your content. So, oh my goodness, that was quite the episode. I hope that you loved this. That's all I have for you today. If you love this episode, please make sure you share it to your stories with the takeaway of your favorite parts and tag me so I can see who's listening and share it to my stories too. Also, make sure if you do go into the free masterclass, please let me know so that way I can celebrate you. And I'm going to be there right alongside you in a virtual seat right beside you. So thank you so much for listening. I will talk to you and maybe even see you. Hey, YouTube, next week. Love you. Bye.